I'd like to welcome up Phil from FoxChickenGrain. Come on.
Sure.
Now we're going to try the mics again.
See if they work.
See if they work this time.
Am I going to sound like a helicopter?
So, that means good.
So that's the hello. Nose drums are blowing up. Effective.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to end up just going, you know what, I'll put that down there. So, strange thing is, talking here, I know 90% of the people in the audience. So this is actually going to be relatively easy for me, you know, and the other 10%, I'm pretty damn sure that we'll get to talk afterwards. Okay. So, I wanted to do this talk too, because sometimes it's not obvious how you can make your own luck. The industry at the moment, I'm sure I don't need to tell anybody here, it's in a bit of a mess, and trying to find a new job, if you're fortunate enough to be in a situation to have to find a new job, is a tricky one. Okay, and you're going to see this a lot during this logo, during all of this. As Helen said, I'm Phil Foxton. Welcome to this one. Yeah, who are you? Who am I? Phil Foxton. The slides. Every time I go like that, I'm like, whoa. Right, I'm Phil Foxton. I've got 30 odd years working in different tech roles across different industries. Last couple of years, I worked with Radical Forge up in Middlesbrough as their head of operations. That role was made redundant in September of 2023. And since then, I've been job hunting, and this talk is based upon my experiences and my findings from that. Okay. Second time my role had been made redundant, although actually, truth be told, it's the third. First time, it wasn't sold to me as your role's been made redundant, and I walked away with nothing. So it just, sorry, okay. It didn't feel like redundancy. It felt like I'd just been told to go away and not come back. The first time, or the previous time to this, I ended up with really bad PTSD. So now I'm really keen on helping anybody who's going through this situation. How can we help? What can I do to help you? And talk up. If you're in this situation, if anybody in this room finds themselves in this situation, please just shout, because I will personally help, or I will find you somebody to help, because I'm determined. This time it happened, I was determined not to let that happen again. Something was going to happen, and I'm going to make my own luck. Okay, so the common thing, you've heard this, so you were made redundant. No, I wasn't. My role was, a company can't make you redundant. You are still you. There's a couple of talks available on, in fact, the transcript of one of them is available on the Game Republic website, I did about this. It's like, companies don't have the ability or the right to make you redundant. You're still you still have your own same old hopes, fears, but what they can do is make your role redundant. So, they don't need you to go into the office anymore, or they don't need you to report for stand-up on the morning. Okay? Sounds like semantics, but it isn't. It's actually crucial to your own mental health to get your head around that. Okay? Sorry, I am getting old. As I've mentioned, 30 odd years working in IT, my eyesight shot to bits, and don't ever try to read my handwriting. Okay, your self-worth gets a major kick in, all right? And get when somebody says to you, your role's not on, because as a community, we all identify by our role. All right? Couple of new people I met tonight. First question, subconsciously, we all do it. First question, what do you do for a living? All right? I prefer the Scandinavian way, where the second one after your name is, so where are you from then? All right? It changes the focus of who you are, who your identity is, not what your job is. All right? Okay. So if it should happen, if you're unfortunate enough to be one of the 14,000 people that this has happened to already in the last 14 months, what should I do? It happens to me. Right? First thing, to quote Douglas Adams, is don't panic. Do not panic. Take some time off. Just relax. You need to take that time to yourself to create a bit of distance between your role that you had and where you're going to go. Sit down and reflect on it. Think about the good times. There's always going to be, no matter how bad a job, there's always going to be good times. Think about that time that somebody spilled coffee down the back of your PC and you could be worked for 3 weeks, or somebody at a games event who was trying out VR, smashed a monitor, laptop, and then threw a full cup of Coke over it. They're just examples that come to mind. Okay. Don't rush. Don't be rushing to get back into work. I personally have been halfway up a Spanish mountainside and had a phone call about a job. I'm explaining that, I'm taking some time out. And the company's like, yeah, well, when you're back Monday, okay, we'll talk then. Then the roles, if it's the right role for you, they're going to come back to you. If they don't, then you don't really want to be there, to be honest with you. So reflect on the good times. Yeah, I know what excuse me, I should have read this. I should have this all done. Yeah, and then decide what your future looks like. List all the good points. Decide what your future looks like. Is that retirement? If you're of a certain age, is retirement the right answer now? I wish. Is it a career change? Is it a complete career change? Are you going to take up knitting your own yogurt? Things like that. Or is it actually you feel you want to take a step up right now? You may have felt that you'd be a mid-level designer for 10 years and you can fulfill a senior level role, or go out there and prove it. Look at that and really, really actually decide that's what you're going to do. Okay? So I've done all of that. What do I do now? All right, okay. Well, you've decided the what you want to do. Now you need to go and do the how. So this is where the second line, that's time machine. Yeah, you jump in your handy dandy time machine that you just happen to have built in your backyard, and you go back 2 years. Go back 2 years, and you start going to events, and you talk to every person you can, and you talk to them about, hey, what's your interest? Never ever go, I want a job, Sure. You talk to people, you find out about what they want to do. Okay, coming to this a bit more in the next slide. You have conversations, you have lots of conversations. I noticed it was happening tonight before we stood up here. We stood at the bar thing, having a good chat, and did this happen, and did that happen, and somebody got lost getting here. Has he actually turned up yet, Tom? Yeah, all right, cool. So you don't like driving around Leeds? Fair enough. Okay. Somebody once said to me, sorry, I've gone too far. Somebody once said to me, somebody obviously way smarter than me, said, go and talk to the prettiest person in the room. All right? Dumb old me didn't actually get what they meant at the time, not because I was like, hang on a second, I'm married. I've got a young child. Why would I want to go and talk to the pretty? But it's not that. It's not that person that you're thinking, well, I'm not going to talk to them because why would they want to talk to me? It's stood there going, if that person had come and talked to me, but what, asked me 5 times, go and talk to them. And you might find out something unusual, something strange, or something fun. And at the end of the day, it may end up leading to a new job, okay? With Phil, I have conversations all the time. Yeah, so do I. You may have noticed I'm actually quite good at talking. Okay, so there's a little bit of art to these conversations. And the first thing isn't to go up to somebody and go, give us a job. Give us a job. I don't. But rather find out about them. Yeah, going back to talk to the prettiest person in the room. Go and talk to them, find out what they're interested in. Ask them about their business. Ask them how the business is going. often buy him a drink. You know, you hear upstairs, well, actually, that might be a bit different, man. Yeah? Off to buy a drink, or, yeah, don't want to catch up over a coffee. That all works, okay? It means you are taking interest in the person. The first line sounds counterintuitive, because actually what you're wanting is the job, but you don't want to, that's not what you lead with, okay? As a conversation starts winding down, you want to be keeping that conversation going, but not at that point. You want to be like, right, okay, well, do you link in? Are you on LinkedIn? I've got on my phone, one of the screens has a big copy of the barcode that you can get out of LinkedIn. And I literally go, oh, you're on LinkedIn? Here, just scan that. And away we go. And then I've ended up with 2,048 connections on LinkedIn, right? Which is great, because then a week or so later, you go, don't do this the next day. For a week or so later, you go, send them a message. How are you doing? We were talking about this. Do you want to talk about it a bit more? How about, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were telling me something similar. Maybe we shouldn't catch up over a coffee, and we'll talk this through. And it genuinely works. I do know there's some people in this room that know exactly this works for me, because I've ended up doing some work for them through this, okay? What you need to be doing when you're doing that talk, and I've noticed a lot of people already do it, but if you don't, practice active listening. It's outside of the scope of tonight to talk about active listening. Look up word, it's brilliant. It's basically, it's subconsciously letting the person that you're talking to know that you're interested. It's not going, okay, yeah, I need to go, or, yeah, just a sec, I'm just answering this, I'm just replying to this funny Instagram, look at that. It's not that, it's actually Tiffany. And I've got some links to some other resources that are very useful. All right? Relax. Nothing makes a conversation more stilted than you standing there going, yes, no, maybe, I don't know, right? And the best bit of this is it's actually time to have fun. You know, you can have with these conversations, and if you come across as a person that likes to have a bit of fun, even when you're talking about business, it goes down really well. Okay? And then how do I follow this up? Yeah? Send them a message. Yeah, next day, send them a message saying, great, really enjoyed our talk, really enjoyed our talk. I especially like this. When can we catch up again? Okay? And then, yeah, give it a week or so, follow it up. Have you got time? You got time to have a chat, and even if they go, yeah, only time I've got is 4 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, and you know, you're like, that's my Pilates class, so I'm only just coming home from work. But make the time to talk to them. It's important. It's important to you. It's important to your future. Do you do this? Yeah. And then what else can you do? How else can you're in this situation looking for a job? How can you find your job? How can you improve your luck in that? First of all, hang out on Discord and Slack. There's loads of, especially on Discord, there's loads of groups that you can join that will give you advice on your portfolio, give you advice on your CV. Brilliant, yeah? There's loads of groups that do have adverts for jobs, paid, rev share, unpaid, and also, yeah, great thing about this particular area is game jams. Game jams are fantastic. If you go to an employer and go, well, actually, you know what? Last week I took part in this game jam, and this is the work. These are the assets I've got out of it. Brilliant. Okay. Check out Amir Satvat's resources. Absolutely fantastic. There's mentors on there. I'm in the mentor list. If you need any mentoring personally, I'm there. Give me a shout. There's a whole load of guidance. There's a lot of people. It mainly runs through LinkedIn. So if you're not on LinkedIn, down LinkedIn. Ada who works at King, I believe, does a whole load of stuff. There's about 8 different people across the globe. Fantastic. Amir is actually coordinating all the spreadsheets now. He has my sympathy because I would not like to even try that. Okay. During your downtime, what you're trying to do is improve your worth to a company that you're going to. All right? Volunteer. Use your skills and experience to keep them current. I personally volunteer at Cancer Research Shop on a Saturday. I've done it for a couple of years, and it actually suits me down to the ground because I can talk to people. I actually go Saturday morning. Now I'm going to do some good. I said, I'm going to do some good, and I spend all morning drinking tea and talking to people. It's fantastic. Okay. And it doesn't, like that. It doesn't have to be in the games industry. It can be if you want. It doesn't have to be. I'm the last one on here, and I'm going to rattle through. Am I all right for time, or do I need to speed up a bit? Okay, thank you. All right, last one on here. You need to be open with those that care about you. All right? And that's maybe not just the people that you live with, family, but it's the community around you. There are people that if you go to them that you feel comfortable opening up to, that will support you. Okay? Well, you've got the other bits. That's me, okay? Thank you for your time. We appreciated your attention today. Any questions? Give me a shout. I now run a operational consultancy for startups and scale-ups in the video games industry. If you have any questions, give me a shout. By the way, the logo, I'm going to embarrass you now, Mia. Designed by Mia, that's sat at the back there. And she designed the logo and the back print, which I've purposely not turned around so some of you can't see it yet. All right, time for questions? Thank you. And if you ask about AI, Ben, I'm walking out. Any questions?
You choose.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
I chose.
Yeah.